If you are someone who is learning English for a while and have not achieved fluency or have not reached to the point where you want to reach in this language, or if you are a beginner who is just starting out, this video is going to be perfect for you. Because in this video, I am going to mention 6 powerful habits that can truly change your English and make you a better and confident English speaker. First powerful habits that can immensely change your English, and it is think in English. Now, you might be wondering that what is this think in English? What does it mean by that? So let me make this point a bit clear. So when I say that you have to think in English, by saying this I mean you have to observe things around you and then think about them. For example, you are sitting somewhere and you saw a child crying. Now you have to think in English that there is a child crying in front of me. If there is a chair in front of you or beside you, you could think about it that there is a chair or this is a chair. Now, you could explain a bit deeply that this is the color of the chair or this or that. So, when you are thinking something in English, first of all, it's helping you to observe more and more, and you will become active while just not doing anything. Even if you're not doing anything, you are doing something productive to improve your English. When you think in English over and over again, it creates a kind of loop in your mind and it helps you to learn this language faster, and it will make your journey a lot simpler. Because, and yeah, you have to understand one thing, that thinking is one of the process that cannot happen in just one day. It is never going to happen overnight. So you must be prepared for it. It will happen slowly, and you will have to remind yourself over and over again that you have to think in English. Just observe things around you, and whatever you are thinking in your mother tongue, just shift the language. Just change the language and turn it into English. Because when you are going outside, I'm sure you must notice a lot of things. And you think about them in your mother tongue that, oh, these people are fighting, oh, these people are walking. So, that could be anything. You just have to switch that in English. That's all you have got to do. Second most powerful step you cannot neglect, and it is speak out loud. When we were talking about think in English, at that time we were training our brain, our mind to think. But right now we are focusing mainly on training our tongue. So when I am talking about speaking out loud, you have to speak out loud whatever you can. Now, you might be saying that, hey, I am not good at this language. I do not know how to communicate or how to construct sentences. I totally get your point. But whatever you can, just do it. You could construct small sentences that I have to complete my homework. I have to go there. I am sleeping. I am waking up. I am brushing my teeth. So, you have to start slowly. Even if you're making mistakes, that's absolutely okay. You just have to speak as much as you can. Because if you speak more and more, automatically your tongue will be trained, and then you will not struggle much to express your ideas, to express what you are thinking, and you will be able to articulate your thoughts in a more efficient way. So try to speak as much as you can. If you do not have anybody around you with whom you can speak, then speak alone. Speak in front of camera, speak in front of mirror, speak in front of any object. You have got many options, right? Third most powerful steps you must focus on is read out loud with emotion. So at that time we were focusing on speaking out loud, but right now we have to read out loud and with emotions. So whatever you have got, that could be any article, that could be newspaper, that could be your books, notes, whatever you have, just read it out loud as if you're speaking it. Again, you have to do it with emotion. I mean, don't just be monotonous and complete the paragraph. Try to change your tone, try to change the pitch, take pauses if it is needed. and then speak as if you are representing something. For example, if you are reading newspaper, then you could act that you are an anchor and speak as if you are presenting something in front of the audience. If you are reading books, you could imagine that you are a teacher and you are speaking in front of the whole class. If you are reading article, just imagine that somebody is sitting in front of you or next to you and you're speaking. So when you are bringing all the things that could be pauses, tonality, pitch and emotion, you are going to perform much better, and in this way you are training your tongue every single day to speak better. Fourth most powerful step you should never ever neglect, and it is writing. I know a lot of you find it ridiculous and do not find it valuable or something useful because you might have your own reason, and that's absolutely valid. But in my opinion, if you want to perform better, if you want to learn English faster in a short duration, you must focus on writing. Writing is one of the steps that can give you an idea. Let me make this point clear with an example. Let's say you have to speak about social media. This is just an example. Uh, at first, you might not have the appropriate words. You might not know how to construct proper sentences, how to speak about it. So you might get stuck even though if you start. But if you have written about it first and then start speaking, words will flow naturally in your mind, in your tongue. So it happens. This is the power of writing. When you write something, you have a couple of minutes, you have some time to think about it and then just write it down. So it will help your mind and your tongue both to be trained naturally. Even though you do not realize the importance of it for now, but trust me, if you are playing this game in the long run, you must focus on writing. It does not have to be 10 pages or just 2 pages. It doesn't have to be like that. You could write only 10 lines. You could write just 1 to 2 comments every single day. You could write any post. You could write your journal. You could write about anything. And when I say anything, I mean anything. You could talk about your personality, about what you like, and if you like certain things, why you like it, what you dislike, what's one thing that makes you happy. So you have many things to write about. Try to create small sentences. Don't run behind fancy words because that might be okay. If something is complicated, you might feel a bit. Uh, con- I just forgot the word. I mean, if you are creating long sentences, then you will have a lot of issue to just construct that sentence. Try to use simple words and try to create small sentences so that you do not struggle much to create sentences. The fifth powerful habit you must adapt is listen actively. When I am saying listen actively, I do not mean that you just have to play something in the background. That could be music, that could be podcast, and then run, walk, do your exercise, or just focus on other thing. I do not mean by that. I am talking about listen actively. Even if you're listening just for 10 to 15 minutes, that would be okay, but you must focus on listening something actively. Because when you do this activity, your mind and your ears, both of them will be active and you will be focusing on every single words, every single sentences, the pronunciation of the words, the tone, the pitch, everything. Because when you are delivering your messages, it shouldn't only have words. You must have the emotion, you must bring pauses, you must have the perfect tone that makes your speech impressive. It should not be boring because at the end of the day, people will get bored. I mean, no matter how valuable or important message you have to share, if it does not have emotion and the right pitch, people will not like it. So when you listen actively, that could be anybody's speech, that could be any music you prefer, or that could even be podcast. Listen it actively. Focus on every single words and sentences. That's all you have got to do. And the last but the most important step is something that a lot of people forget and do not discuss. And it is enjoy the process. Oftentimes we get so busy in following those steps that we forget that we have to enjoy the process. It's not a kind of torture. It's not a kind of phase where you have to treat yourself like something who doesn't have emotion. Even if you're feeling overwhelmed or devastated, you just have to keep going. No, it shouldn't be like that. You have to enjoy the process, and it can only be done when you are being nice and kind to yourself. And when I'm saying this, I don't want you to ruin your peace of mind, ruin your feeling that no, I have to learn this language at any cost. Sure, there should be urgency, sure, there should be challenges, but again, you don't have to treat yourself that you do not have feelings. If you are feeling that it is difficult, just take a step back and learn something that is a bit easier for you, that is a bit comforting. Because if you're not enjoying the process, trust me, it's gonna be really overwhelming. And I know this feeling because I have been really hard on myself. I have forced myself to study English for 7, 8 hours every single day when I hated learning this. So now I am trying to be a bit kind for myself. I'm trying to enjoy the process. And instead of focusing on learning this language like it's a challenge, I am making it more like a lifestyle. I'm making these habits that I should be doing every single day, but without pressurizing myself. So that's all I have to share in this video. These are the 6 steps you must focus on if you are trying to learn English and if you want to master this language or become a fluent English speaker. So that's all I had to share. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will be back with an interesting video very soon. Bye bye.